Hello, everybody. I needed to come on to talk to everybody. I've been getting a lot of questions and a lot of emails and stuff. And it's important for me to y'all hear from me, come straight from the horse's mouth, and it's done. It's a correct answer, everybody. My name is Dr. Lily M. Coley, and this is Keep It Real with Dr. Lil. And so some of you don't know, I started this podcast talk thing a while back, and the purpose of it was to talk about my personal story called My Story, My Book, and then my legal story, which is what me and my godson and a few other people are going through in a legal capacity. And some people have been asking me about how the case started. Some people know that it started in Philadelphia with my goddaughter, Wanda Satterwhite. So today I'm not going to get involved with the Philadelphia piece, but I am going to come on and talk about how they both bridge together so you can hear it from the horse's mouth. But for the most part, I got some information in regard to the attorneys that were involved. And in this case, the attorneys in New Jersey. So we'll talk about the attorneys from Philadelphia at another time. But the one from New Jersey, people were asking me about the misconduct and the allegations that we have regarding the fraud. And the answer is yes to the misconduct stuff, that we did submit a ethics complaint against Lisa Fisher Hart and what's the other guy's name? Kenneth L. Winters. So Kenneth L. Winters is in New Jersey, and Lisa Fisher is also in Jersey, but she's in Philadelphia as well. But that's the reason why you're seeing or understanding about there is a filing in Pennsylvania because Lisa Fisher Hart has a license in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So they're in both places. Now, this is not the first time we did a complaint against these attorneys. There's been like 3 or 4 over the years, and they have just kind of been going nowhere. So since we've been in Philadelphia, there has been some help with persons in Philadelphia in high places, if you will, and they're telling us some of the things and the officers which to deal with, which will make sure things get done. So that's the blessing right there. But nonetheless, there is absolutely an ethics complaint been filed already against Lisa Fisher Hart for the 3rd or 4th time. It was both in the past, it was obviously in New Jersey because that's where we were. And now Philadelphia, we're here in Philadelphia. We're obviously filing for Philadelphia jurisdiction. Kenneth L. Winters was filed as well. I believe Ramir filed one as well. And maybe even Robert Graves, some of the other parties, the parties that are considered parties of interest, whose names have been kind of out there when it shouldn't have been, so forth and so on. So yes, the legal story is what it is, everybody. It's still moving on, going on, and we're believing justice is going to take place. We will keep you abreast on the outcome of the ethics violations that we believe took place in our case. In this case here, it's for the case in New Jersey. Now, we did do something for Philadelphia, but I'm not sure about that completely, so I'll get back to you on that. But nonetheless, we had some ethics violations because in this case, of course, with the fraud was the biggest part of it, but the liens was even more because you're taking orders that were obtained by fraud and using that fraud to put a lien on somebody's property. I mean, it don't take a rocket science to figure this out. Nonetheless, you have to sometimes, everybody, you have to go and make sure that your rights are not taken from you. You got to fight sometime for your rights because certain people and certain institutions think that only certain people should have it. Nonetheless, you should have it, right? So make sure that when you do file, you keep your information. You're going to file, if you're filing in Pennsylvania, I think some of you said you were filing in your own states. Make sure it's thorough. You got to answer the questions. Look at the questions. Make sure the facts are there. Ours dealt with the fraud, as I said, and it dealt with the fraud led to liens to my property. Some of you already saw the liens. Somebody posted the liens on Twitter. So the liens, if you type in our name to put liens, you'll get it. Nonetheless, I can get you the liens or the public information that you want if you want it, but you should be able to get that with no problem. But that's here, there. Your biggest thing is making sure you got your paperwork together, right? You don't need to worry about whether we got ours together because we do. But what my whole point was that we were starting out with the fraud situation that led to liens, and that's part of the height to the situation, because a court cannot make an illegal litigation legal. Can't do it. So if somebody has something that leads to something else, this is why this case is such a problem, because by you not doing due process, not checking these attorneys and doing what they're supposed to be doing in the court of law, cause these other things to come, and they're thinking they're untouchable. That's just not going to happen in America. I mean, I don't know where some people thinking we are, but in this country, everybody has their own, or everybody is entitled to, or I guess you could say their own rights. Everybody, they got rights. So I just wanted to come on here quickly because today's Christmas Eve, and I will come in and talk about some other areas there's some other areas that we had already talked about in the past. We want to go back to some of those things that are already out there, because one thing you got to understand is that there was some certain things that had happened that people might need to understand how certain information, your FOIA gets your information out there to other parties. And then you're talking about 10 long years or something. So there is some, or 12 really. Yeah, it might be 12 years, y'all. But at any rate, for the most part, what I'm trying to get at is, if you have a complaint against an attorney, then all you need to do is make sure your paperwork is together, make sure you have the facts together, and place that information. You're usually the Secretary of State or somewhere in your Attorney General's office. You should be able to find how to get to the filing of a complaint against an attorney. That's what I'm getting at. And then you file the information. They should send you a letter back saying that they got it, and then so forth and so on. You don't want to make it too long. Just make it short and sweet. Put the facts down about the situation and where you are with the situation. And of course, things change. It gets worse, or something else happens. Just supplement it. That's all. So I got that. And I got another thing that came through. I can't remember what it is right now, but we'll come back on and talk about that. I'll be talking about my legal story, and I'll be talking about my story. And the whole point of this is to empower you, to give you what you need so you can have it for yourself and do it. Because sometimes when other people have been through it, and they can tell you, especially as somebody who had an attorney, didn't have an attorney, one attorney died, all these different changes that can go on, it can help you help yourself. But one of the things is, don't forget to believe in yourself, know that you have rights. You have rights. Believe in yourself. You don't let nobody walk over you. Don't do what they do, right? You got to let God take care of some of this, right? Now, you really got to let him take all of it. And what you are steward to do, he'll give you that to do. Because some things are not normal, and some things are definitely, to me, evil, right? But you ain't got to be upset about it, because people make their own choices about whatever they decide to do to you. So if you feel like there's a strong situation, especially if you're dealing with families and kids and all that kind of stuff, you just got to be careful, right? Do what you're supposed to do within the best interest of your children or your family, even yourself, so that whatever you're supposed to do in this legal matter, you can just walk it out. You don't need to fight anybody. You don't need to go crazy. Just do what you're supposed to do. And I promise you, in time, it would happen. And you just got to make sure you've been called to do whatever you're doing too. Don't get out there and do a fight you ain't supposed to be in. But nonetheless, I just wanted to get on here real quick. I know I hadn't been on here. Part of it is because I had to go get some dinner work done, and I wasn't supposed to do too much talking and all this other stuff that was going on. So I just wanted to make sure you all knew I'm staying connected with you. I'm here to help you, support you, empower you. And I'm going to tell you about my legal story so they can help you with your story, legal story, and things that we might have had to do to get where we needed to have gotten, or where we're going to go, rather. And then I want to tell you about my personal story on how God kept me, my brothers and sisters, and kept us to where we are right now, and how these things and my mother, my parents, propelled me to who I am today, and empowering the community. It's going to be a mixture, right? We're not going to just deal with one aspect. Because I know all y'all just worried about the drama stuff. But at the drama stuff, the Lord is going to take care of that too, y'all. He's going to take care of it. So you just have to make sure you understand what you're supposed to do. Be encouraged, Be empowered, be encouraged. Don't give up. It's going to be all right. It's not the end of the world. Just do what you got to do. So this particular segment is dealing with the attorney's misconduct. And the misconduct is very simple. No, you can't do fraud in the court, on the court, because that's the mechanics of the court that needs for the court to operate. And attorneys are supposed to be officers of the court. So when they do the wrong thing, it breaks down the system. So we'll talk about the other stuff later. I know some of you guys were asking me about the judges. Well, the judges basically are the ones who sign the orders. So they do what they do. So we talked about that before. But in this segment, we want to talk about the fact that if you have a attorney misconduct, you can file a complaint after you really believe you have a legitimate. And maybe you need to talk to another attorney or talk to some people in certain specific offices. I don't know the names because they do vary from each state on different offices that allow you to talk to somebody, a liaison type person that will help you come to a conclusion, if it ain't another attorney, that you can file a complaint if something has happened that's been unethical and out of the boundaries of what an attorney should do. All right. Okay. That's it. That's all I have, everybody. I hope and pray that everybody will have a blessed holiday. We'll see you right after the holiday. We will be trying to do videos to keep you abreast on, like I said, the legal story and the my story to empower you so you can be better at all that you do, and that we can help somebody help themselves get across the finish line in their place called justice. How about that, everybody? So thank you so much. God bless you. Look forward to talking with you soon. This is Dr. Lily M. Coley, and I'm signing out on Keeping It Real, everybody, with Dr. Lil. Talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.